Just in case you have missed it, WorldWarZ Aftermath released a couple of days ago an update with a few changes, bug fixes for both PC, PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4 and Xbox Series. Let's talk about the bright side, because most of the times, if you're not familiar with WorldWarZ, whenever a new patch is released, new bugs are introduced to the game, or you will find all bugs are being brought back to the game. So let's have a look at the good things from WorldWarZ so far. You can see everything in the background. I will also leave a link in the description in case you want to visit the patch notes yourself, because the most important things are they fixed the rats that had ridiculously low health in even higher difficulties. They improved the interactions with the bots by giving and transferring commands for the heavy weapons and medkits. They also fixed a bug where the bots were falling incapacitated by zombies instantly, even on low difficulties. That's why solo became a little harder, and they fixed some quality of life things for PC and consoles. Now let's talk about a major bug I firstly see in WorldWarZ. Welcome to WorldWarZ. All semi-automatic weapons, fire rate and trigger inputs are currently like halved. And that's also known by Saber. They released a Twitter, you can see the background. Once again, I will leave a link in the description. We are aware of an issue with semi-automatic guns, fire rate and trigger inputs on WorldWarZ game. Currently, our team is addressing the issue. Additionally, we have updated the known issue article for more information about things in the works check. Okay. So there are known issues in WorldWarZ Aftermath and they're addressing it. I visited the link, once again, link in the description, and you can see the background. Some of the few things that are working now: semi-automatic guns fire rate is inconsistent and faster triggered inputs are not being registered. Console players may experience frame rate drops and freezes while playing the game, including texture issues. Some players may experience issues with invitations on consoles. Players may experience issues when using Vulkan FSR. New Horde mode XL waves do not start. Very nice. While using the controller, player may be forced to use bandages before receiving a first aid kit from the AI. Very nice. Some players are experiencing sound distortions while opening the Xbox game guide overall during gameplay. And these are the issues that, as you can see, working on a fix. I'm very concerned for two additional issues because, as you can see, investigating the issue. Sometimes players can get in the game with other players from their block list in matchmaking. Very bad. Sometimes zombies may get stuck during a swarm in Horde mode XL, investigating the issue. So there is another major change in a weapons perk that wasn't mentioned in the patch. I don't know if that's a bug fix or working as intended or they just fixed it. So the machine pistol Big Earner now restores 20% ammo in the magazine. What does this mean? If you have a fully heavy weapon, you can no longer get more ammo. So you have to use your heavy weapon, empty it for example for 20% or something like that, and then use the Big Earner from the machine pistol. That makes it much worse than it used to be. It's not bad, but it's much worse because, for example, now you can no longer use the RPG unless you have a class that has access to higher heavy weapon count, or you have a fixer that gives you 10% extra heavy weapon count. That means 2 RPG shots. Because let's say you have the RPG with 1 shot, if you use, as you can see the background, I tested the machine pistol, you don't get ammo back. You have to use the RPG, but if it has only 1 shot, it just gets expended. So I'm really worried about why they haven't mentioned it in the patch notes. Is this another bug that they missed, or this is a fix that now works as intended? And if it's not a fix, why they didn't mention it in the patch note? They say, look, we fixed the heavy pistol now and it works as intended, because before it didn't work as intended. There was a bug, of course, where you could use the bots and get like unlimited ammo for the heavy weapons, but I don't know if they used that to fix that issue or that's once again another bug. I hope they just elaborate and just let us know, but that's not my major issue actually. Well, what I'm most concerned are the semi-automatic weapon issues because the game is unplayable, the frame rate drop issues in consoles because once again the game can be unplayable with frame rate drops. Come on, frame rate drops in 2023. The game came back like so many years ago. Yeah, it's very bad in my opinion, and we don't have any clear answer when their fixes are going to be implemented. So whenever I log in now in WorldWarZ and just get semi-automatic weapons, I simply play with an additional mutator. However, I have tested all the semi-automatic weapons and variants, so there are a small silver lining amongst the weapons, and some are not as bad, but yeah, they can feel bad if you just use them prior to the nerf. So, all the pure semi-automatic rifles, including the variants such as the classic battle rifle, the tier 2, have the fire rate like halved. All the shotguns, including the assault shotgun and the multi-barrel shotgun, have the fire rate very bad. Except from the tier 1 shotgun, for some reason, it doesn't feel as bad because it already has probably very low fire rate, so it's unaffected, I think, but that's not an issue. It's the first weapon you get rid as long as you find a tier 2 weapon to upgrade it, so I'm not concerned about that. Even the tier 2 shotgun, the multi-barrel, the sortie, weapon that Gunslinger can start to have the secondary, everything has the fire rate lowered, and even the advanced combat weapon is affected by this nerf. However, there are a few variants or weapons that are unaffected. For example, the burst sniper rifle variant, for some reason it doesn't feel that it's affected. I have tested it quite a bit, it's not affected. The pistol is affected, but the machine pistol default is not seen to be affected by this nerf. Also, the same goes for the burst rifles, the bullpup, the tier 2, the classic bullpup rifle, and the tier 3 bullpup rifle. They feel that they're unaffected by these changes. And let's go about the SMGs. The semi-automatic version of the tier 2 SMG also feels unaffected. However, the special SMG semi-automatic version for some reason seems that is affected, although I haven't used it in the past. It may have been as low as it is, and in my opinion, they're not the best versions you can use in the weapon, unless for the tier 2 sometimes SMG could be decent, but I don't like the semi-automatic version of the tier 3 special SMG for now, as I have tested, so I don't personally use it. I almost forgot to mention the crossbow, but let's be honest, I'm not a crossbow fan unless I play the Hellraiser that deals double damage with explosives, and I take advantage of that. But if you're a fan of the crossbow, a bad news, the crossbow also been nerfed a little bit. A small workaround around this issue is if you tap and try to match the actually new fire rate of the weapon, it can improve it by a little bit, but honestly it's nothing in comparison pre-patched and pre-bugged. And yeah, that's the only thing you can do for now, otherwise you're just playing with an extra mutator, especially if you're going for higher difficulties and you're not experienced, or you just run higher difficulties with mutators. So in the end, what I want from the Saber is to just let us know and be transparent how long they are going to need to fix this. Are they going to need a couple of weeks or a couple of months? If it's the latter, I do believe they will alienate and just make things harder for newer players because they will have to play with other weapons. It's just very bad and challenging to play now with semi-automatic weapons, especially if you're not a veteran player or high experience for higher difficulties. Because personally, and I know other players and streamers that can play the game and say, okay, I will look this as a challenge, I have an extra mutator, I will run with some mutators to have some fun, and use only semi-automatic weapons to have, let's say, an extra mutator. But let's not see this in our perspective, let's see in the perspective of the majority of players. Let's hope they fix it as soon as we can, because we can afford to have this for a long time. Thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it if you reach the end of the video. Feel free to leave your comments and thoughts in the section below, and I hope I see you again in the next video. Have a wonderful day, weekend, afternoon or good day wherever you are.